Hello, this is a brief demo of Avaya Cloud Networking Platform. We'll be talking about its key capabilities and the zero-touch AP provisioning. Let's start with the home page. It is a very easy to understand dashboard that provides a quick view of every aspect of your wireless network. The dashboard tiles provide a live view of number of access points up and down in your network, number of clients connected on 2.4 or 5 gigahertz channels, number of alerts in your network, the type of devices, whether it's an iPhone or a laptop, and the type of applications on your network. Now, you can click on any of these tiles to get to more details. So let's just click on the application tile. And as you can see, we can very quickly see what type of applications are running on your network and which application is using the most bandwidth. Here, as you can see, Netflix is one of the top applications on my network here, and it's consuming almost 250 gig of bandwidth. Now, if I want to see who's actually is using the most bandwidth, then I can see by exact client type. This particular client MAC address is using almost 140 gigs of Netflix traffic, and there are a few other clients that are using this bandwidth. Now, if I want to go into the access point usage, I can see which access point is generating this much traffic, or clients are connecting through which access point to generate this traffic. Now, this is from the last 30 days. If I am doing real world troubleshooting, I can do it analysis in terms of what is happening in the last hour or last 24 hours. So as you can see, the access point profile changes now, and say similarly the type of clients who are connected and using the Netflix application. And I can go back and see what type of application now. Suddenly in the last 24 hours, instead of Netflix video, I see Facebook as the most popular application. Very similarly, I can see by access points how's the usage of wireless bandwidth distributed across various access points. Now, if I want to go into a bit more detail on the access points, I can click here on the access point tab, and within a few seconds this table will be refreshed, and I can see the full details about the access points in terms of their host name, serial number, if there's a DHCP pool associated with that access point, the IP address of the access point, the location, and the expiry of the licenses of these access points. How many clients are associated, and when was this access point last configured. Now, let's take a use case of a brand new access point that we want to register with the cloud. So for that, click on the Add and Remove button here. Once you come on this page, what you will see on the left side are the access point licenses that are currently consumed and the number of licenses that are available. So we have 7 licenses that are available. If I want to add a couple of access point, I can click on Add AP to Account button here, and very simply I can start entering the serial number, host name, location of those access points. The host name and location is optional, and if I've got say 10 to 100 of access point that I need to register, then I click on the import button to import a CSV file. The CSV file format is very simple. The first column is the serial number column, the second column is the host name, and the third column is location. Host name and location are optional. The third method is even simpler, where you can download a free application, mobile application from your Apple iTunes Store or Google Play Store. Just search for Avaya Cloud Networking Platform mobile application. And once that application is up and running on your mobile device, you can use the application to scan the barcode on the back of the access point or the barcode on the front of the carton, and the mobile application will register itself with the cloud and send the serial number automatically to your tenant. And that way you can easily provision a lot of access points remotely without configuring those access points one by one. Now, once the access points are registered with a cloud account, there's a certain process that access points go through, and essentially cloud will push the configuration and firmware setting associated with your tenant to the access point. Once those settings are complete, you will see here as activated button green. And once the access point is now online, the online button is green. Now, there are scenarios where the access point later on could be offline, where you may have turned the power off to that access point. And then what we will show is the access point is activated, but the status is offline. In some scenarios and rare scenarios, while the cloud is sending configuration to the access point, there may be an error situation. For example, the access point lost connectivity to the cloud, or it got booted because of a power failure. In such a case, the activation protocol did not complete completely, and the cloud will show the access point as an error condition. To recover from that error condition is also very simple. Just push the reset button on the access point, and the access point will reset to factory default and contact the cloud again to get its configuration and the firmware image. Once the access point is up and running, like what I'm showing here, you can go and get more details about the access point. And in this particular case, just hover your mouse on top of this row and click on the detail button here. And I can see a lot more details about the access point here and the radio details also. This particular access point has two radios configured, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. If I want to go and change the configuration of any radio, I can do that here. I can say disable it and things like that. So those are very simple ways to configure the access point. Other key functionalities, you can select a couple of access points as they have been configured, and you can say, hey, I want to optimize these access points for channel, power, or Wi-Fi band. And this may be the case where your whole floor is automatically optimized by the cloud, but maybe the front lobby needs more power. And you can just select the APs in the front lobby and click on the optimize power button and change that. So that's one way you can fine-tune the configuration of your access points. Once the access points are now completely configured and operational, you want to see what type of clients are connected to those access points. So click on the client tab here, and what we are showing is the number of clients that are currently active, and we provide you all the details about those clients, the client host name, when it was last connected. We do very fine detail device fingerprinting, so we know whether it's a tablet, notebook, phone, and then client IP address, how much data has been uploaded by that client. If there's a user behind the client that has been authenticated using .1x, we will put the username also for that client. Now, sometimes if a client is misbehaving and, for example, using a lot of wireless data to use applications like Netflix or Facebook, for example, you can say, I want to block this client, and you can quickly click on the client and hit on the block button, and the cloud will create an ACL automatically behind the scene. You can always unblock the client later on. Other key functionality is all this data, whether the access point data or the client data, can be exported out like with a CSV file. I can see a list of all the clients that ever connected into the cloud from my network. So I can say all the time, all the clients that ever connected, and that's essentially a historical log of all the client connectivity on my network. So I'm showing 1,067 clients ever connected on this network, and I can see what type of clients, how much data they sent, and things like that. All that historical record is saved here. Now, other interesting things are, I can see the list of alerts on my network right now. If I want to import a floor plan, I can import a floor plan by site, and I can attach an AP to that floor plan as I'm showing here. And once you size the floor plan here in the map, attach the AP in the right location, and turn on the heat map, then you can remotely start diagnosing any user experience and RF related problems at any of your sites. So here I can see if I've got enough coverage for this whole site,